lot of people don't even know that I do music. And interestingly enough, growing up, there were three things that were really crucial in my life, and it was music, motorcycles, and cars.
Which of the following is one of the first names that comes to mind when you think about personalizing or decorating your vehicle of choice? Most likely the reality television show Counting Cars, which is not surprising given the fact that it has been on the History Channel for such a long time and has been very popular. Additionally, it brought Danny Koker, who you may remember fondly as the Count, to the forefront of the entertainment industry. Koker became a legendary figure in the industry as a result of his ability to take automobile modification to an entirely new level by utilizing his years of experience and cutting-edge innovation. Nevertheless, after the conclusion of the show in 2021, numerous rumors began to circulate throughout the automotive industry regarding the numerous misfortunes that have befallen Koker. Now that we have that out of the way, let's take a look at whether or not the stunning new information about Danny Koker is true. Koker was born on January 5, 1964, making him one of the youngest babies in Cleveland, Ohio. Prior to becoming a reality TV star, musician, producer, celebrity mechanic, and owner of Count's Customs, he was just one of the very first babies born in the city. As a result of his father's employment at the Ford Motor Company, young Daniel Nicholas Koker II was able to spend his childhood surrounded by classic cars and other automobiles. There were also a significant number of friends and family members who were also involved in his upbringing. Koker was curious to learn how these life-size toys functioned, which is something that one would anticipate considering the fact that children are so fascinated with toys. Having observed that his son was developing an interest in automobiles, his father made the decision to present him with a cruiser as a present. In this very moment, everything started. The process of automobile restoration and customization was something that Koker started doing. That being said, it was abundantly clear that his primary passion was automobiles. As was the case with his father, Koker had a passion for music. His father had a passing interest in music and was a member of the Cathedral Quartet, a well-known Southern gospel group, where he played the keyboard and sang baritone on the keyboard. He even collaborated with a number of different bands, such as the Foggy River Boys, the Oak Ridge Boys, C.L. Franklin, and Mahalia Jackson, among others. In addition to his own musical endeavors, he was also the leader of the Koker Family Band, also known as the Koker Family Singers. This group consisted of Koker, his mother, and his siblings. As a result, it should not have come as a surprise that young Koker followed in his father's footsteps and performed at Carnegie Hall when he was only 11 years old. He continued to develop a deeper appreciation for music as time went on. At Valley High School, where he was just beginning his teenage years, Koker received his education in the areas of basic shop and automotive studies. The majority of his educational experiences, however, took place outside of the classroom. For hours at a time, he would sit and watch his father work on vintage automobiles and make modifications to their engines. Additionally, he would gain knowledge from highly skilled mechanics and automobile experts. He received assistance in disassembling vehicles and gained an understanding of the various components and the roles they played. During this time, young Koker was gaining an understanding of how these machines functioned and how they could be reconstructed after other individuals had given up on them. According to him, the only real education I received was the kind that occurred during my senior year of high school, which consisted of the fundamental shop class and the automotive class. Aside from that, all that is required is to get your hands dirty and disassemble something in order to figure out how it functions. However, you will need to figure out how to put it back together again. Due to the fact that it takes a very hands-on and practical approach to learning, Koker would eventually stand out among the many other companies operating in the automobile industry. It was possible that he began it as a hobby, but by the time he graduated from high school, there was no question about the direction that his life would take beyond that point. On the other hand, he never actually completed his high school education in the most conventional sense. Following graduation from high school, he enrolled at the University of Nevada. When Koker was getting older, his father made the decision to broaden his business beyond the automobile industry and purchased Channel 33, a television station in Las Vegas. Movies from the past, comedies, dramas, and Christian religious programs were among the most popular shows that were broadcast on the station during that time period. During the time that the Kokers were in charge of the station, it functioned as an independent station that primarily focused on local content. It even broadcast films like The B-Movie and Saturday Fright at the Movies. As a result of his significant performance in the film Count Coolrider, Koker was brought to the forefront of public attention as a result of this film. The sale of Channel 33, Inc. to Montecito Broadcasting Corporation was finalized on February 3, 1998, after the Koker family had completed the transaction on December 18, 1997. Koker, on the other hand, had stepped away from his acting career a few years earlier in order to concentrate on the restoration and customization of automobiles and motorcycles. The 1979 Camaro Z28, which was the very first vehicle he ever owned, was the vehicle that influenced him to go in this direction. Until it was transformed into a street-style Can-Am race car, Koker had disassembled the vehicle and gone through the process of customizing it from front to back. The success of this project was more than sufficient to motivate Koker to pursue a career that required him to work full-time. It was through the establishment of Count's Tattoo Company that he was able to combine his two greatest passions, namely automobiles and tattoos. The company quickly gained a following among people who were passionate about tattoos and automobiles. Koker's dream of owning a business that specializes solely in the customization and restoration of automobiles was quickly realized when he established his own shop, which he named Count's Customs. Through this custom shop in Nevada, Koker began the process of restoring cars that had been abandoned. This new establishment, which he opened in the early 2000s, quickly gained recognition in the industry, just like his first business did. Anyone who is looking for quality should go to Count's Customs because it has become the place to go. The quality of the customers who came to the shop is something that you simply cannot believe. One of them was Rick Harrison, who was a member of Pawn Stars, and he frequently requested that Koker perform evaluations of classic muscle cars. Koker was able to demonstrate his brilliance and expert knowledge to millions of viewers on television as a result of this possibility. Through his association with Harrison, he was able to further solidify his position within the professional community of automobiles. However, it even went beyond that. Pawn Star, which was hosted by Harrison, was broadcast on the History Channel, and it was doing exceptionally well. In point of fact, it was doing so well that they were contemplating the possibility of spin-offs. When the producers saw that Koker possessed exceptional skills with automobiles and an incredible ability to transform rust buckets into dazzling works of art, in addition to the fact that he already had his Count's Customs business well established, it was an obvious choice for them to hire him. Their subsidiary was called Koker. Counting Cars was born as a result of this. The series, which is the third spin-off of Pawn Stars, was shot in Las Vegas, where it showed the activities that take place at Koker's Count's Customs on a daily basis. The world was made aware of Koker's dream, which included his father's guidance and his own personal struggles that he had endured over the years, as well as the incredible career that he had worked so hard to establish. Everything that has transpired up until this point in time. Beginning on August 13, 2012, Counting Cars made its debut. Harrison was the one who brought in the 1968 Bullitt Mustang for the pilot episode. Although this classic Mustang fastback was in a rough state when it was brought to the show, Harrison insisted that he wanted it to be transformed into a Bullitt tribute while keeping the cost of the transformation to a minimum. Koker and his team did an outstanding job on the automobile, and the end result was a masterpiece that unquestionably won over the appreciation of the audience. Following the conclusion of the first season, fans expressed a desire for additional episodes. Because of this, the number of episodes in the second season was twice as many as the number of episodes in the first season. It was obvious that people enjoyed it, and the fact that they did so was the reason why the show was picked up for a third season. During the course of an exciting episode of the show, Koker and his team took on the responsibility of counting the number of automobiles that were stored in the warehouse at some point. After going through a wide range of automobiles, which included classic muscle cars, motorcycles, and modern sports cars, they came to the conclusion that there were a total of 1,500 automobiles stored in the warehouse at that particular moment in time. In order to contribute to the promotion of the Counting Cars show, this accomplishment was distributed across various social media platforms and featured in various news articles. Throughout the course of the show, Koker had become a household name in the realm of automobile restoration and customization. Therefore, it did not come as a surprise when he was offered the position of producer within a few years of the show's initial distribution. Up until the time of Counting Cars, he was already well known in the Las Vegas area, and now he is well known across the entire country. As the guy with the beard and the car glow-up bandana, he was the one who wore the bandana. He was the foremost authority on custom automobiles, and as a result, he was the person to whom people turned for answers to questions regarding the customization of automobiles and motorcycles. And this included famous people from Hollywood. These well-known individuals, including Alice Cooper, Tommy Lee, Dee Snider, George Lynch, and Judas Priest, to name just a few, were looking for the very best products. In addition, Koker was. In spite of the fact that Ozzy Osbourne wanted a custom helicopter that was extremely challenging to construct, he came to Koker. Because of his connections to major celebrities, Koker was invited to a number of events, including parties, auto shows, and even additional appearances on television. Visitors and people who are passionate about automobiles came from all over the world to visit Count's Customs, which quickly became one of the most popular places in the city. To tell you the truth, this resulted in a significant change in the financial status of the company, and it was then that Koker's entrepreneurial spirit surfaced once more. As a result of his renovations, Rock Bar and Grill by Count became one of the most successful businesses he ever owned. A one-of-a-kind establishment in Las Vegas, Count's Vamped is renowned for its distinctive combination of Gothic aesthetics, motorcycle culture, and rock music atmosphere. He is the founder of the establishment. Koker was confronted with a collection of challenges despite the fame and wealth he enjoyed. The entire narrative was altered by a straightforward legal matter, which also revealed a dark and shocking secret that he had been concealing for many years. Because of the nature of his company, it was to be anticipated that Koker would be confronted with the occasional legal headaches. For example, in 2014, a couple who had brought their 1967 Ford Mustang to be modified in the hope that it would be featured on television not too long after the premiere of Counting Cars, filed a lawsuit against the company owned by Koker. In the lawsuit that was filed for $50,000, the couple claimed that they wanted a refund because they discovered that the car had not even begun to be worked on, and that the car was not even the type that they had in mind having purchased. The dispute was resolved not long after that. It is abundantly clear that the offense was not of such a serious nature that Koker ought to be sentenced to jail time or placed under arrest. On the other hand, 3 years later, he was confronted with yet another legal challenge when a lawsuit for $75,000 was filed against a former employee of Count's Custom. The plaintiff was alleged to have received payments from Koker's company as payment for controlled substances. After the investigation was completed, it was found that the narcotics belonged to Koker, and he was given a sentence of 30 days in jail for his involvement. The arrest came as a surprise to many people, and the industry was taken aback when it was revealed that Koker had been struggling with drug addiction for a long time without being reported on. The fans were unable to believe that. Koker, who was essentially a model because of his reputation as a hip person who was passionate about his automobiles, was a role model. Because of the chain of events that transpired, it was unavoidable that his professional life and business would suffer as a consequence. After serving time in jail, Count's Customs came under scrutiny, and the future of Counting Cars was a source of anxiety for the audience. Koker made the decision to continue his sobriety journey, employing the same dogged determination and unwavering commitment that he had demonstrated throughout his career in business and reality television. Since then, he has not been taken into custody, despite the fact that he has been facing newer legal issues. He has also been able to regain the respect of his clients and fans as a result of his willingness to be open about his struggles and his dedication to his recovery. In addition, Koker's dedication extended to his musical endeavors. It was Count's Vamped, his club, that was instrumental in ensuring that his music would continue to develop. As a result of Koker's passion for rock music and retro fashion, the club became well-liked by both locals and visitors. This was due to the fact that he was able to establish a unique and inviting atmosphere. Additionally, at some point in time, the guitarist who was in charge of hosting the weekly jam night discovered that Koker had a history of performing music, and as a result, he would invite him to perform on stage with him. A particular group that included Koker ended up on the same stage at the same time, and they played so well together. Eventually, some other people were invited to sing, and they were able to perform an excellent performance together. As far as Koker is concerned, it simply seemed real. It was like a dream. We have all begun to gel together. When we got back from that night, we sat on the patio at the club and talked about how good it felt. We just decided that for the next jam night, we should get together. Why don't we? Let's get together and learn a few songs, and then we'll practice for a little while. Therefore, we did that. And after that, our jam night began to attract a crowd in the sense that it was actually a jam night. In the end, this band evolved into Counts 77, which is Koker's own organization. According to what he said in response to a question about the formation of the band, "We are rehearsing all the time, and then it grew into basically our own band." In other words, it was a genuine and natural development that came from a group of guys who are all roughly approximately the same age. We were all exposed to the same music when we were growing up. Every single one of us is extremely enthusiastic about the same genre of music. To tell you the truth, it happened exactly like that. Soon after, Count 77 began serving as opening acts for more prominent bands, and they continued to perform at the club as well. Koker's band also enjoyed increased popularity as a result of his growing success with the band Counting Cars. The band has released their first album, and the song Summer of 77 Inches is among the most well-known songs from the album. According to Blues Rock Review, they were even selected as one of the top 20 albums of 2014. Upon being questioned about the objective of the band, Koker responded, "I am unable to say that I have a genuine objective for this. All I want is for it to go on, and I want it to be the very best that it can be all the time." What's even more incredible is that I, along with everyone else in the band, never feel content with anything. To speak for ourselves, I am not aware of what the objective is. However, I can assure you that each of the 6 of us is extremely committed to this band. There are 6 of us, and we are all committed to working at it in earnest. As a result of his achievements in the music industry and the automobile industry, it appeared as though everything that Koker touched turned to gold. According to our assumptions, there are some fans who are unaware of the fact that Koker does not receive all of the credit for his success. There is a private life that lies behind the glamour, and it includes the fact that Koker has been married to Corey Koker for a very long time. Corey is a talented musician and businesswoman. In the years leading up to the signing of the contract for Counting Cars, Koker and Corey, 2 individuals who shared a passion for rock and roll and automobiles, came together. Beginning with Count 77 and continuing through Counts Customs, Corey has been an integral part of each and every one of them. However, Counts Vamped is the one in which Corey has been heavily involved in the operation of. Her presence has been the driving force behind the scenes that ensures everything runs smoothly. The couple has been able to successfully balance their successful careers with their personal lives, thereby avoiding the scrutiny of the public throughout their lives. On the other hand, there are still some fragments that emerge. Koker's busy schedule was said to be the source of stress in the couple's married life, according to the rumors that circulated about the couple's marriage. At that time, fans were under the impression that if the couple had broken up, it would be disastrous for the future of their business empire. Nevertheless, the couple made the decision to keep their private business private, rather than engage in public discourse regarding these rumors. Fans were also concerned about the rumors that Corey had experienced a health crisis, which resulted in her temporarily retiring from her position at Vamp. This was another issue that caused concern among the audience. There were additional reports that circulated on the internet that asserted she had passed away as a result of an automobile accident happening. Fans continued to express their support and well wishes for Corey, despite the fact that these particulars were not completely verified. This served to highlight how much the couple meant to the community of Las Vegas and beyond. In addition, when she went back to work at Counts Vamped, everyone was overjoyed to see her again. It is certain that the couple's relationship is still as strong as it was before, despite the rumors that have been going around. In spite of the pressures that come with fame and business, Koker has expressed his gratitude on multiple occasions for the fact that he has a partner who does not only share his interests, but also comprehends the obligations that come with his position. 2021 was the year that the curtain was finally drawn over Counting Cars after a total of 184 episodes and 10 seasons. The fact that this was the final episode of the show did not change the fact that it was praised for being one of the most successful shows on the History Channel. Despite the fact that fans continued to hold out hope for a season renewal, there was no news forthcoming. Because Koker is still the owner of Count's Customs, he made the decision to keep the door open for as many fans as possible who were interested in experiencing the show. According to the official website of Count's Customs, free tours of the shop are offered on a daily basis. These tours give visitors the opportunity to view some of the most iconic creations that have been featured on the show throughout its history. In point of fact, they constructed a museum there as well, so that fans could have their needs completely met. To tell you the truth, Counting Cars did change the face of reality television, particularly in the category of automotive restaurants. A clear illustration of this effect can be found in the recently established criteria for reality television programming. For instance, the manner in which Counting Cars combined the technical aspects of car restoration with the personal stories of the members of the team was something that had not been done to such a high degree in the past. It is not surprising that it lasted for such a long time. Koker has not shown any signs of slowing down, despite the fact that the show was finished more than 3 years ago. In spite of this, he continues to be the celebrity mechanic who is also a recording artist, having released not one but 2 full-length albums. In spite of this, there have been sporadic rumors about his health that have been circulating on social media about him. He does not appear to be suffering from any illness or health problems at the present time, as there is no clear indication of this. According to reports, he is thought to be in reasonably good health. It was for the purpose of protecting his followers from being deceived and misled that he tweeted on X, "I am personally only on Twitter. In spite of the fact that my businesses are present on all of the platforms, I am only present on Twitter. On Facebook and other platforms, there are fake accounts that mimic the DK. It's not me. Try not to give into it. Please report it." Currently, it is estimated that Koker has a net worth of approximately $14 million and possesses more than 100 personal automobiles. These automobiles include approximately 70 motorcycles and almost 55 cars. At least some of them were passed down to him by his father, who had passed away in the year 2008. Although Koker's may not be as visible on television as he once was, his legacy has successfully established a connection between a specialized industry and its followers. The audience was able to relate to and become more interested in a complicated topic thanks to his show. Consequently, this has provided other reality shows with the opportunity to investigate communities and niches that are not as well known. Koker's story is one of perseverance and determination. Ranging from his childhood interest in automobiles, which was made public through a Counting Cars project that was extremely successful, to the unanticipated time he spent in jail. A great number of people are motivated to maintain their resolve and keep their foot on the gas of their dreams until they reach their desired location in the allotted amount of time by following Koker's journey.